useful for you. And I have looked very much into the book of my friend Deborah Rosado's show, Dream Big. Number 10, be a pioneer. Never, never be afraid to forge in any new direction. And when you think of pioneers, think of Rosa Parks, who became the founding symbol of the civil rights movements in the United States and died at the age of 92, a few years ago. The simple act of defiance in refusing to give up her seat on the bus changed our country. After her death, Jesse Jackson, speaking on behalf of all African Americans, said it best when he said, "She sat down so that in order that we can stand up." So when you forge in new directions, don't be afraid. Remember, the Ark was built by amateurs, the Titanic by professionals. Number 9, do not deny your roots when you walk the ladder of success. For if you deny your roots, you have no integrity. You have given up your dignity. Colleagues, nothing is worth the cost of your integrity, your reputation, or your self-respect. If you cannot honor your racial, your cultural, your moral, and social concepts inherited from your ancestors, then how can you demand it from the rest? Remember as well, people without knowledge of their past, of their origins, or their culture are like a tree without roots. Eventually, they will fall. Number 8, never, never underestimate your capabilities. Someone else will do it for you. Your most worthy efforts will be scorned by your peers because it's they who suffer most when you excel. Remember as well that as a chief achieves greater success, the jealousy that others feel for him will intensify. So do not squander your energy fighting every little skirmish. You will be depleted when you really need to fight the important ones. Remember as well, do you have enemies? Great. That means you have stood for something in your life. But remember what it was said. Great people discuss ideas. Average people discuss events. Little people talk about people. Remember as well, a lion doesn't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. Number 7, achieve the highest level of education. It is the key to the door of opportunity. And when you get to the top, remember, be humble in the facts that you do not know. Socrates said that if he was the most clever man in Greece, it was because he knew what he did not know. No matter how educated you are, never make a decision when you do not understand the issue. Above all, learn to say, "I don't know." If used well, it will save you from many embarrassing moments. But more than anything, you do not have to be brilliant to be successful. The greatest change for most of us is not that that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that is too low and we reach it. Number 6, set goals for yourself and then share them with those that believe in you. In pursuing your goals, whenever you run into a wall, find a way of walking around it if you already have not learned how to knock it down. Lament if necessary, but do not dwell too long on your bad moments, lest they rise to rule your emotions forever. When you are unhappy at your work, do something about it. Otherwise, you are the problem, not your job. It's amazing what you can accomplish if you do not care who gets the credit. Remember, no one can make you inferior without your consent. As someone used to say, I used to walk in a room and wonder if they like me. And now I walk in a room and wonder if I like them. Please do not forget that your time is valuable and is non-renewable. You have some now, but you don't know how much you can count on, so please do not squander it. Once it's gone, it's gone. Number 5, when you get to the top, don't forget you owe something back to your peers, your family, your community, and your country. And as a woman, when you get to the promised land, don't you ever deliver the sermon of equality. Live by it. By that I mean, do not withhold information, do not leapfrog through hierarchy, do not displace deserving professionals, do not unfulfill promises, and do not have inequality of salaries. Nothing should ever be done to a woman, especially when the boss is a woman like you and me. So ladies, take your time and become aware of the Brutus in your midst. Remember as well, any promotion will require an adjustment in your part, as well as on the part of those who remember you in the former role. Equally important, do not forget that being a leader is very, very lonely. So if you want to be one, prepare for many lonely nights. But above all, remember, successes come from efforts. So build your relationships, forge new allies, but forget the word I and start learning the word we. It's extremely important to share and to network. You cannot be successful today without networking. It's a great way to increase your abilities and visibility and give you insight on what it needs to break into a new field. But remember, do not forget that the net won't work unless you are contributing. So remember, when you network, you will reel the catch, but you must also share the bait. Number 4, don't be afraid to speak your mind. Remember, be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Second, be more concerned with your character than with your reputation, because your character is what you really are, and your reputation is what others think you are. But as my friend Deborah says, don't get sucked in being a hero into your own life. Whenever you do not ever use someone else's visions to see your life through. It's like wearing glasses do not belong to you. Above all, don't take everything personal. Be factual, not just emotional. Do not repeat the mistakes of your predecessors. Do not let disappointment drag you down, and be assertive without being bullish. Remember, it's actually okay and often necessary to be less strong, less resilient, and little less courageous. Use your strength and your courage judiciously, because suffering is optional, and the choice is yours. Number 3, take care of yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally. Remember, we either make ourselves miserable or we can make ourselves strong. After all, the amount of work is the same. Remember as well, when it comes to your own life, you don't have to get it right all the time. Perfection is not required. There's no reason to perpetuate the fantasy that we can fix it all, be it all, do it all, 24 hours, 7 days a week. So take time for yourself. Would you do me a favor? Disconnect the stupid phone. Get a manicure. Get a facial. Take a walk. Watch a movie. Have an ice cream without feeling guilty. And more than anything, practice assertiveness. Don't swallow the words that you want to say to anyone or the need to say to anyone, and get accustomed to stick it to yourself like if you were your only friend. Do me a favor. Find yourself $20 every time you say maybe, instead of saying no, which is really what you say. Find yourself $20 every time you apologize for feeling good, for feeling better, for being happy. And find yourself $20 every time you can never accept a compliment. We are the most unbelievable people. We know we're looking good and we don't take compliments, but if you don't tell me I'm looking good, I'm going to kill you. But above all, do not forget to clean house. By that I mean, all those little messes that you have lying around, you have to solve them. Think about it. Is there someone you need to apologize to? Is there anyone that you need to forgive? Is there someone you need to remove from your life? These are forms of pollution. As long as you don't solve them, remove them, you are not going to have your full life energy, so get working on them. The truth is that you cannot take care of yourself as long as you do not take care of everybody else's needs. Remember as well, pushing everyone's needs ahead of yours is just a detour. It's another excuse to stay off course, so get back on track. Number 2, never lose your sense of who you really are, or even when others believe that they know you better. Always be a first-rate version of yourself, not a second version of somebody else. Remember, you were born an original. For heaven's sake, do not die a copy. But above all, never settle for just looking good, because at the end you will spend a life just looking good, but not doing very well. Remember as well, being a lady is like being powerful. If you have to tell people you are, then you're not. And now, number 1, plan big, dream of greatness. Remember, the penalty of success is being bored by the attentions of people who formerly ignore you. No person has the right to reign on your dreams, and when the day arrives that you're on top of your dreams, take time to thank God and all those people that made it possible for you to be here. But more than anything, remember, the best revenge is success. So I leave you now with my personal quote. As we listen and talk here today, and we go about our daily lives, let's remember to watch the process and get involved. Because those of us who have the privilege to speak for those who cannot do it, we have the opportunity to do so and the right to do it loudly and clearly. We cannot always continue from now on to have the 3 Ps, polite, pleasant, and passive.